Hello appraisers, this is Brandon with Spark for Appraisers, and in this video I'm going to be going over error score visualization, what exactly it means and how we did that in our Synapse adjustment support tool. Let's just get right into it. So first of all, what is an error score? An error score is a result that you get when you perform a calculation that lets you know how much error there is in that calculation. Now in Synapse, our error score, the technical name for it is the standard error of the mean absolute error. You can look that up. Also, I have a video that goes into depth on how that's calculated, what it means, and all that. So go check that video out. There's a link to it down below. But really, what we're talking about here, just to kind of lay it out, is in these results, which each of these dots is a result from a calculation that was performed to try and help with getting the lot size adjustment. In these results, the larger the dot, the lower the error score, and lower error scores are better. And then on top of that, because sometimes you might have dots that look very similar in size, we wanted to point out which one was actually the best. So we put a dark gray line around it. So anytime you see that dark gray line around a result or around a dot, that means that one did have the best error score. Now, a couple things. One, that does not mean that you should place more weight on that. That does not mean that you should only look at dots that are bigger. It's just another tool for you to look at things and try and help you determine where do you want to place weight. For example, in half-path adjustment here, it's telling us the larger dots have the lower error score, which is better, but those are also in the negative 15,000 range here. And even the best score is at negative $14,000. So, or 15,000. So it doesn't mean it's the best. In this case, this particular neighborhood, there's only a couple houses with half baths, so that's why the results are so wonky. But if I were to make a half bath adjustment, it would probably be more in here, even though these results have higher error scores. So anyways, just wanted to point that out. It's just another tool, another thing for you to look at. Some appraisers are going to want to look at where's the best error score. Some appraisers may want to look at where are all the results kind of clumped up, because maybe that's where you want to place more weight. There's lots of different ways to do it, but really you got to use your experience in that market to know what to do, what results are worth throwing out, what results are worth keeping, and then place weight on those. And I don't want to get into it too much here, but you can essentially throw out results by using the constraint slider at the top here. So really, when I'm looking at GLA, I'm probably going to not place any weight or consideration on these really low results. Same thing with the high results, probably going to throw those out. So basically, when I do that, when I'm graying out these results using this slider bar, I'm telling Synapse I'm not going to place any weight or consideration on those. And I can also snip them out. And all that does, it's not meaningful other than it helps you visualize the data better. So when I snip out these results in gray over here on the left, it kind of spreads the dots out more, the results out more, so I can kind of see more of what's going on. Just to remind you what it looked like before, I'll put it back. They're kind of closer together, might be harder to see where they're clumped up. So anyways, all different ways for you to visualize the data and see what's going on. And that's it. Just keep in mind, the larger the dot, the lower the error score. Lower error scores are in theory better. It doesn't mean that, again, you should place more weight on them. Just another tool. And then the result that has the dark gray line around it, that's the one that had the absolute best error score, aka the lowest error score. Oh, and one more thing I wanted to bring up before we finish the video here is you may notice there are a couple of these where there are two best error scores. You see there's two dots or results that have the dark gray line around them, I mean there's two best. And what you'll notice is these hashed lines as well. And what that means is there's one best score for this area between the hash lines and one best score for this area above the hash line. So really those hash lines are to let you know where the error scores vary. So everything that's regression or sensitivity is based on the same scale for the error score. So you can have a best error score between regression and sensitivity. There can only be one in here, unless there's a tie, of course. And paired sales is on a completely different scale. So that one will also have its own best score. That's why you see two in here. And over here, there were no paired sales for full baths, so there's only one because paired sales doesn't have any pairs. So there is no best score for paired sales there. And you see there's no hash line above there either, since it doesn't exist. So anyways, that's what the hash lines are for, just to let you know where they are the same scale, so there's can only be one best. And that also applies to the small dots and the big dots. The small dots and big dots are on one scale here and on a completely different scale up here. So anyways, that's what the hash line's for. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.